Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning, and how are you? I hope you are already in a good condition. I come from Team 7 and then there are 4 members. Okay, first of all, let me to introduce our members. My name is Naura Ayopelisa as moderator and presentator, and then my friends are Nurul Afida as presentator, and then Widya Okta Indriani as presentator, and then the last Jagaluh Salsabil as presentator. Okay, in here we would like to present our discussion about analyzing scientific articles with topic critical thinking skills. The next, what will we analyze? Let's begin. Okay, I will show you about the table of contents. The first is title, the second is author and affiliation, the third is the quality of journal, the fourth is problem, the fifth is method, and the last, sixth is result. The first session will be presented by me. Okay, next, the title of journal is The Implementation of Contextual Learning to Enhance Biology Students' Critical Thinking Skills. The second are author and affiliation. The author, there are 3 people, Biustami, Syafruddin, and Afriani. The affiliation is STKIP, Persada Katulistiwa Sintang Indonesia, and then University of Papua Sintang Indonesia. Okay, the next, the quality of journal. There are 2 quality in international and national. The first in international, Scopus is quartile 3, and then national, Sinta score is S1. Okay, next, the fifth is problems. The problem is the students have low critical thinking skills because they just rely on the textbook and then it's not related to real life, and then the teacher are unable to integrate critical thinking into their daily learning practices. Based on this problem, to improve students' critical thinking skills, one of the innovative learning strategies to apply is contextual teaching and learning or CTL. Jadi dalam masalah ini, murid-murid itu memiliki kemampuan berpikir kritis yang rendah dikarenakan mereka hanya belajar berdasarkan buku textbook saja, kemudian itu tidak berkaitan dengan kehidupan nyatanya. Untuk gurunya tersendiri itu tidak dapat mengintegrasikan kemampuan berpikir kritis tadi itu ke dalam kehidupan keseharian mereka. Jadi cara inovatif untuk mengatasi masalah ini yaitu dengan pembelajaran kontekstual atau CTL tadi. Okay, the last explanation will be presented by my friends.
Hello, my name is Jagaluh Salsabil. Here, I will continue the previous presentation. Okay, let's talk about method. This research used a quasi-experimental. The method used a non-equivalent pretest post-test design groups consisting of 2 classes, which are experimental class and control class, which aims to compare critical thinking skills of biology students between the experimental class and control class. Jadi, penelitian ini itu menggunakan eksperimen semu, di mana metode yang digunakan adalah desain kelompok pretest post-test non-equivalent yang terdiri dari 2 kelas, yaitu kelas eksperimen dan kelas kontrol yang bertujuan untuk membandingkan kemampuan berpikir kritis biologi siswa antara kelas eksperimen dan kelas kontrol. Okay, the next is result. There the table about the differences between CTL and expository learning. Okay, I wanna explain about the meaning of CTL. So, CTL is a learning process for help the teacher to associate the teaching with the real situation and encourage students to develop a scientific approach and apply it in a daily life. Jadi, CTL itu merupakan sebuah proses pembelajaran untuk membantu guru menghubungkan pengajaran dengan situasi nyata dan mendorong siswa untuk mengembangkan pendekatan ilmiah dan menerapkannya dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Okay, for the expository learning, is a learning strategies that emphasize the process of delivering material verbally from a teacher to a group of students with the intention that students can master the subject matter optimally. Jadi, expository learning itu merupakan strategi pembelajaran yang menekankan kepada proses penyampaian materi secara verbal dari seorang guru kepada sekelompok siswa dengan maksud agar siswa dapat menguasai materi pelajaran secara optimal. Okay. Look at the table. On the CTL, the first one is introduction. Teacher states the learning objectives. Jadi di sini maksudnya adalah guru menyatakan tujuan pembelajarannya. Number 2 is invitation. Students express their prior knowledge associated with their real-world situation. Jadi siswa itu mengekspresikan pengetahuan mereka sebelumnya terkait dengan situasi dunia nyata mereka. Number 3 is exploration. Teacher gives a problem to students to be solved cooperatively in groups through investigation activities. Jadi, guru itu memberikan sebuah atau suatu masalah kepada siswa untuk diselesaikan secara kooperatif dalam kelompok melalui kegiatan investigasi. Number 4 is explanation and solution. Student present the result of their investigation and do question and answer session among the groups accompanied by the teacher. Jadi siswa itu mempresentasikan hasil penyelidikannya dan melakukan sesi tanya jawab antar kelompok didampingi oleh guru. Okay, number 5, taking action. Students make decision or conclusion based on their own knowledge. Jadi, siswa itu membuat keputusan atau kesimpulan berdasarkan pengetahuan mereka sendiri. The last one is closing. Student work on the quizzes given by the teacher individually. Jadi yang terakhir atau yang keenam itu, siswa mengerjakan kuis yang diberikan oleh guru secara individu. Okay. The next is expository learning. The first one, preliminary. Teacher states the learning objectives. Jadi sama ya, seperti CTL, guru itu menyatakan tujuan pembelajarannya terlebih dahulu. Okay, number 2 is presentation. Teacher delivers abstract material to students verbally. Jadi yang kedua ini, guru menyampaikan materi abstrak kepada siswa secara lisan. Number 3, exploration. The teacher gives a problem and the students solve the problem individually through student worksheet. Jadi, guru itu memberikan soal dan siswa menyelesaikan soal secara individu melalui lembar kerja siswa atau LKS. Number 4, recitation. Students do the exercises on the student worksheet given by the teacher. Jadi, yang keempat itu siswa mengerjakan soal latihan pada lembar kerja siswa yang diberikan oleh guru. Number 5, drawing conclusion. The teacher draws a conclusion on the learning material. Jadi yang kelima, guru menarik kesimpulan atas materi pembelajarannya. The last one is closing. Teacher provide reinforcement by asking question orally to students. Jadi yang terakhir atau yang keenam, guru memberikan penguatan dengan mengajukan pertanyaan secara lisan kepada siswa. Okay, that's it. My explanation. The next explanation will be presented by my friend. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul Afida. I will continue the results and discussion of this journal. The average score of critical thinking skills of biology students was obtained from the pretest and post-test average scores of class 10B and 10C. The range of critical thinking skills categories is presented in table 2. Ya. Jadi, skor rata-rata keterampilan berpikir kritis biologi siswa itu diperoleh dari nilai rata-rata pretest dan post-test pada kelas 10B dan 10C. Rentang kategori keterampilan berpikir kritis itu disajikan pada tabel di bawah ini. Range 80 to 100 is very good. Range 70 to 79 is good. Range 60 to 69 is fair. Range 50 to 59 is low. And less than 49 is very low.
Jadi rentang nilai dari 80 sampai 100 itu kategorinya itu sangat baik. Kemudian rentang 70 sampai 79 itu masuk ke kategori baik. Rentang 60 sampai 69 itu sedang atau cukup. Dan rentang 50 sampai 59 itu rendah, dan di bawah 49 itu sangat rendah. The descriptive result show that there was an increase in the average score of student critical thinking skills in biology subject both in the experimental and control class. The average score of biology student critical thinking skills in serial learning was bigger than expository learning. The detailed explanation of the increase is presented in Table 3. Jadi, hasil deskriptif menunjukkan bahwa terdapat peningkatan nilai rata-rata keterampilan berpikir kritis siswa pada mata pelajaran biologi, baik pada kelas eksperimen atau pembelajaran CTL maupun kelas kontrol atau kelas ekspositori. Rata-rata skor keterampilan berpikir kritis mahasiswa biologi dalam pembelajaran CTL lebih besar daripada pembelajaran ekspositori. Penjelasan lebih rincinya akan dijelaskan pada tabel 3. The descriptive analysis results in Table 3 show that the pretest average score of in the experimental or serial learning and control class or expository class categorized as low. Ya, jadi hasil analisis deskriptif pada tabel 3 menunjukkan bahwa nilai rata-rata pretest pada kelas eksperimen atau pembelajaran CTL dan kelas kontrol atau kelas ekspositori dikategorikan masih rendah. The pretest average score in serial was 46.50 and in the expository learning was 49.95. The post-test average score of student critical thinking skills in serial was 82.56 and categorized as very good, while in the expository learning was 68.37 and categorized as fair. The critical thinking skills of student average score in serial increased by 36.6, while in the expository learning increased by 17.42. The increase of student critical thinking skills in biology subject could be illustrated in figure showing that the average score of student critical thinking skills before and after the learning was different between the serial and expository learning. Jadi skor rata-rata pretest dalam CTL adalah 46,50 dan dalam pembelajaran ekspositori adalah 48,95. Nilai rata-rata post-test kemampuan berpikir kritis siswa pada pembelajaran CTL sebesar 82,56 dengan kategori sangat baik. Sedangkan pada pembelajaran ekspositori adalah 68,37 dan dikategorikan sedang. Nilai rata-rata keterampilan berpikir kritis siswa pada pembelajaran CTL meningkat sebesar 36,06. Sedangkan pada pembelajaran ekspositori meningkat sebesar 19,42. Peningkatan kemampuan berpikir kritis siswa pada mata pelajaran biologi dapat diilustrasikan pada gambar selanjutnya. In Figure 1, the research result showed that CTL could enhance biology students' critical thinking skills. Research results are in line with the research conducted by Komalasari and Sugiarti, which elucidated that there was an increase in student critical thinking skills through CTL. Other researchers have also shown that there was an increase in student critical thinking skills on colloid concepts by using the CTL. Landari et al. 2015. The improvement of critical thinking skills could not be separated from the selected approach CTL. The learning process employing CTL requires students to be brave to actively participate in exchanging ideas, expressing their opinions, and explaining the discussion results in front of their friends. In addition, according to Ridayani and Manurung, CTL could improve students' conceptual understanding since it is supported by the increase of student critical thinking skills. Dari gambar 1 tersebut menunjukkan bahwa hasil penelitian menunjukkan bahwa CTL dapat meningkatkan keterampilan berpikir kritis siswa biologi. Hasil penelitian ini sejalan dengan penelitian yang dilakukan oleh Komalasari pada tahun 2012. Peneliti lain juga menunjukkan adanya peningkatan kemampuan berpikir kritis siswa pada konsep koloid dengan menggunakan CTL, Wulandari 2015. Peningkatan keterampilan berpikir kritis tidak lepas dari pendekatan yang dipilih, yaitu CTL. Proses pembelajaran menggunakan CTL menuntut siswa untuk berani berpartisipasi aktif dalam bertukar pikiran, mengutarakan pendapat, dan menjelaskan hasil diskusi di depan teman-temannya. Selain itu, menurut Tridayani dan Manurung 2010, CTL dapat meningkatkan pemahaman konsep siswa karena didukung dengan peningkatan kemampuan berpikir kritis siswa.
Hello, I'm Widya Putayandriani and I want to continue the next presentation. The t-test result analysis of the pre-test show that there was not any difference in the critical thinking average score. In both the experimental and the control class are displayed in Table 4. The analysis result revealed that the t-count was smaller than the table. Thus, the requirements of quasi-experimental research were met, and that both the experimental and the control class must have the same thinking skills. The t-test result for the post-test data in the Table 4 indicated that there was a different average score between the student in the experimental and the control class on the environmental pollution subject. The t-count was higher than t-table. Thus, it can be concluded that CTL was better than the expository learning in improving students' critical thinking skills. Jadi, hasil analisis uji T pada pretest pada tabel 4 ini menunjukkan bahwa tidak terdapat perbedaan skor rata-rata berpikir kritis baik di kelas kontrol maupun di kelas eksperimen. Dan hasil analisisnya menunjukkan bahwa T hitung itu lebih kecil daripada T tabel. Dan selanjutnya, untuk hasil analisis uji T pada data post-test itu menunjukkan bahwa terdapat perbedaan nilai rata-rata siswa pada kelas eksperimen dan kelas kontrol pada mata pelajaran pencemaran lingkungan, yaitu menunjukkan bahwa T hitungnya itu lebih tinggi daripada T tabel. Dengan demikian, dapat disimpulkan bahwa CTL lebih baik daripada pembelajaran ekspositori dalam meningkatkan kemampuan berpikir kritis siswa. Thus, it can be concluded that CTL is better than expository learning in improving students' critical thinking skills. Contextual learning could provide opportunities for the students to improve, extend, and apply their knowledge and skills in various activities both in schools and daily life. In other words, CTL requires the students to experience rather than memorize, to think, and to be active. As a result, they can construct knowledge based on their own experience. Okay guys, that's all of our presentation about analyzing scientific article. Thanks for your attention. If you have any question, let's discuss in the next meeting. So we want to say sorry if there are mistakes. And the last word I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.